I was like, get me down!
I do shit on the second film quite a bit, but that intro.
He is tapped. Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Outlaw Film Production Podcast with me, Luke Blight. Today we have Sam Monhagan as our guest today. Hello.
How are you?
Oh, I'm good, thanks. Yeah.
Good.
Yourself?
Yeah, no, it's been good. I'm usually behind, so it's nice.
Now you're
it's nice
in front.
I've been allowed a seat at the table. It's a nice change.
Brilliant.
Contributing from the back.
So yeah, this is the faceless voice that you have heard a couple times.
Yeah.
So yeah, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I am. Oh god, this is like. I feel under pressure now. I'm first year at uni, so still a student. The same uni that obviously you were at. That's how I know you.
Yeah.
It's making films since about 9-ish probably. Should I go into?
Yeah, go into your filmmaking origin story.
We started. Me and my best friend from home had these collection of films called Zombie 1, 2, and 3, and then there was a spin-off for college. Zombie. Those were like the first few. Then at like secondary school, we didn't have a media course. They never offered it for us, but I knew that that's what I wanted to do. So left school, went to college, did media, took a gap year, worked on some films, and then uni.
Nice. What project did you work on?
I did. God, tested me. I did like local festivals, like music festivals. Did shooting for those. Queen Charlotte, is it called, on Netflix? Is that? I think it's a Netflix show. Bridgerton spin-off.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Did that, and then the biggest one, Napoleon. Obviously Ridley Scott, Joaquin Phoenix, Vanessa Kirby. So it's done a few. It's been good, and now on the Outlaw Film Production Podcast. So
you've made it.
I'm on a podcast. That's all I ever wanted. So.
How have you found your filmmaking journey since you've began doing those zombie films to the project?
It's been good. It's been fun. I think it's such a creative thing to do, and if you obviously work with the people that work well with you, there's so much creative freedom around it.
Yeah.
As long as like you get on, you can make whatever you want, and anything can be good. And like even if it's shit, filmmaking's fun. That's what I sort of think. It's
as long as you do have fun at the end of the day.
So that's sort of my main thing. I'm doing it now to just enjoy myself making film, making films and showing people films. It's great.
Yeah,
it's really, really good. Yeah.
Have you got a favourite film or films? A few.
The thing is, I know you've said it before. It's one of those questions that I can't seem to pick one.
Yeah. Is there a film at the moment that kind of sticks out then?
I think if I can pick one, for like of all time, it probably will be Baby Driver. I think it's I love Edgar Wright films. I think they're so unique in the way that they're edited and put together, and the cast obviously is always great in all the films. So it's probably that. I think one of them was I had like a list of top 20 films or something. Spirited Away. I know it's not a live action, but Spirited Away is one of my favourite films.
I've not seen any Ghibli films. I'm sorry. I've only
to watch it.
I've seen half of
How's Me
My Neighbour.
Yeah,
I think it reminded me a lot of. Have you ever seen a horror film called The Grudge?
I've not, but I've heard of it.
Really messed me up as a kid. I watched it way too young.
What age is that?
I think I was about 9, but it had strong physiological horror. Which it said that on the back. It was like may contain strong physiological horror, and I was like, what is it? And then basically it's something that gets in your head. And there's a part in it where this guy goes up in the attic and he like looks No, is it? I don't know. Somebody goes up in this attic and looks for a thing. This creature basically rips their jaw off, and then that happens. And then going up into my own attic. Then basically my mum was lifting me up once, and I panicked and I was screaming and I ended up just accidentally, because I was just so scared, just fucking booting her in the face, because I was like, get me down! I thought the grudge was gonna get me, like. But
a film's good if it's done that.
Yeah.
Not that that's a good thing. But
no.
It serves its purpose.
Yeah, there's a bit where the house is starting to. The haunting is like beginning, basically. Yeah. There were bits like that were in My Neighbour. Well, I don't know which came first and whatnot, but it reminded me a lot of that.
Ghibli films are good. I'm watching the I'm not sure if you've seen, but they're doing a Spirited Away, like live panto sort of thing.
I've seen pictures and stuff. Yeah.
Me and my friend are going to that in August, and I cannot wait.
Yeah.
It's got the same voice. The people who voice acted the characters.
Oh, really?
Are performing in it with all these massive built up dragons and shit.
Yeah.
It looks sick. It looks so cool.
That'd be class.
But yeah, I'd say Spirited Away's up there. Obviously, Across the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse. Those ones, they're two perfect films. So if the third one's good, I think it's going to be a perfect trilogy for those Spider-Verse films. But I won't go into that too much, because I could waffle on for days. It's
almost as if we could do a whole other episode or something.
Teasing something there. But what about yourself? I don't even know what your favourite.
Yeah, well, I'm really fond of One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. 1969. You got way before mine. But you got Jack Nicholson starring in it. He's so young in it. You've also got Danny DeVito.
Oh wow.
And who plays Doc Brown? Christopher Lloyd. Thanks. Christopher Lloyd, and they're both so young in it, and it's really weird to see.
Would that be before they really rose up to start? Yeah, because what was Jack Nicholson? Was that what really shot
16,
him up?
I would say possibly. Was it Chinatown that he did, and
obviously The Shining.
The Shining.
He was still. I think he was probably big by then.
Yeah.
But Danny DeVito as well.
He's Danny DeVito's character in it has probably 4 lines of dialogue. Oh. It's a lot of a physical performance.
What's it about?
Basically, Jack Nicholson's character Randall Murphy he's in prison for I think it's attempted rape. It's something really dark at the start, but then the rest of the film is pretty good film. But anywho, and then he's basically saying, "Listen, I'm crazy. I can't be in a prison. I need to be into a safe institute." So they're like, "Okay, we'll put you in this institute for now and assess you and whatnot." And then it's the world kind of revolving around him, and he brings light to those who were in this institute. That
sounds quite good.
Christopher Lloyd's character and whatnot, and a few others. Introduces one of the greatest villains of all time, Nurse Ratched, of which they did a spin-off series called Ratchet.
Never heard of any of this. I feel like this is.
I'd say watch.
Obviously, it's before our times. But
it's.
I don't go back and watch many
older films. But I'd say that's definitely up there.
My dad was born.
This is it.
Oh my god.
Big fan of Jaws.
Yeah.
Jurassic Park.
About this one here.
Oh yeah, the Suicide Squad is definitely up there. Yeah. Almost anything James Gunn has done.
Yeah.
I would say.
Scooby-Doo.
We were on about it earlier.
What a film!
At the time of recording this, 20 years ago, Scooby-Doo 2 was released in cinema, which is mad.
I watched them back to back about a month ago. I was like, these are just incredible.
Yeah.
There's nothing. Absolute
perfection. If they were to do a third one, that would just be insane.
They really should.
Because the CG that they could do for Scooby now.
Oh yeah.
Because that is the one.
But I think that's why I like it. Is because it looks so naff. Yeah. In the films that it's almost funny. You're like, oh yeah, that it's not real. Obviously,
it's the bit in it is the first one when he's like the grandmother and he's wearing all the clothes and whatnot, and there's like that behind the scenes video of like someone in like a morph suit, like green morph suit, like.
I think my favorite part is Shaggy and Scoob sledding down the mountains, chased by the skeletons, and you see them and they just fly for miles off of this thing and land completely fine, and it's like, what is? I don't understand this film, but it's great. It's the fact that they took everything from the cartoon and made it into a live action film. Yeah, it was. Because I grew up with Scooby-Doo, it was really cool. Rewatching it as well was really good. Yeah, I was always a big fan, and then the films came out and just made me a massive fan. I remember, that scene in the second one when Fred's on the motorbike and he has like the giant spear thing. He's going like electric monster. I remember going on my little bike and picking up a stick, doing that, and like even trying to find something for like a little ascot. And then be like, ah! Yeah, it was so cool. Scooby-Doo 2 is
Monsters Unleashed.
10 out of 10 film. Nothing. I would change nothing about it. Not even the CGI. I think
just keep it as it is.
Because that blob, the blob guy, like the tar monster, is absolutely terrifying still to this day, and I love it for it. It's
Mystery Incorporated.
It's incredible. And you got, what's his name? Why am I lost for?
No, Seth Green.
Chris Griffin.
Yeah,
that's what I'm thinking of.
Seth Green's in it as well, because there's that bit when he shows up for the date, and then Daphne talk to Velma, and then she's like, "Who's your mama?"
It's just it's incredible.
Brilliant.
So move on from Scooby-Doo.
I know. Yeah, to be fair, maybe we'll just do a whole episode on Scooby-Doo films.
I think we could. Not the new ones. Not the new.
Ones. Apparently, though, last Scooby-Doo thing, Matthew Illard is doing some form of Scooby-Doo animated project.
Yeah, I think I remember hearing about that, and he's coming back from Multiverses.
Because
that's being re-released now. So he's coming back voicing Super Saiyan Shaggy. It's going to be great, and I can't wait for it to come back.
What about comic books then? So, like, do you have a favorite comic book character?
I think it's difficult to choose because I'm really into like the comic book movies, and I know enough about the comics to then enjoy the films. I don't read the comics that much all the way through. Yeah. If I can pick a specific one that I've read the whole way through and enjoyed it, start to finish, Deadpool Kills the Marvel Universe.
Oh, right.
An incredible piece of comic book.
Yeah, I've got it. I haven't read it.
It's great. It's so stupid, but it's Deadpool. Like I said, killing the whole Marvel universe, and it's great, and it gets to a point where I don't want to spoil it. Actually, I'm not going to say anything because you need to read it. He just goes on. Essentially, Deadpool gets brainwashed.
Okay.
And kills
Marvel.
Okay. It's great.
Would you say Deadpool then? Is when you?
Oh, Deadpool definitely. Yeah, I don't want to go too much into Deadpool 3 because we're still a way away from it. And I don't want to spoil anything for yourself, just because I know I've spoken to you about the posters and the trailers and stuff. So
much excite though. Much excite. It's gonna
be incredible.
It's gonna be a major cameo film though.
Do you think, with obviously the hype behind the film, if it doesn't perform as well as people think it's going to, if it's not as good as people predict it to be, do you think that's it for the MCU? Because I think
I don't think that it can be bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I mean, like story wise and whatnot. I mean, there might be some loopholes and this, that, and the other. But at the end of the day, Deadpool 1 and 2 have been, brilliant.
Yeah, so well received as well.
Especially Deadpool 1 had like no budget.
Yeah.
So like now they got Disney money. They
got Marvel money. Yeah, that's the thing. It's MCU money is.
So Ryan Reynolds has like embodied this character so well.
And he's the main voice behind everything that happens, really. Because it's his. He's the producer, isn't he?
I think so. Yeah.
I think because there's been a lot of talks, obviously, with all these different characters wanting to make cameos in it. He's been the one that's I know. I don't know if you've read about it. The character of She-Hulk was meant to be in it.
Oh, right.
And was meant to I don't know, I think I saw an interview about it. was somehow meant to take over the mantle of, because obviously she's the only other person that can fall break.
Yeah.
Was meant to take over this mantle of Deadpool, and Ryan Reynolds came in and was like, we're not doing that. And that's not going to happen. And now apparently the character of She-Hulk's not getting any sort of coverage at all for a new series. Probably will show up in Secret Wars or Kang Dynasty, but apart from that, it's
damn.
But I'm so excited for. There was another one with Captain Marvel as well, wanting to be in it.
Yeah, right.
So there's all these characters that on paper could be really good, but have been done dirty by the scripts.
But Kevin Feige's gone under a little bit of dirt at the moment because somebody's basically called him up going like, you know, all these Marvel films that be coming out and people haven't been liking them.
Yeah.
You're the one producer them.
Yeah, that's true. It's mostly the shows for me, I think. It's, I don't know what it is with them. They just don't have the same Marvel charm that the original sort of 3 phases had.
Yeah, I think they've just been trying to churn out content.
Oh, 100%.
Like they really need to like take a step back with it and whatever. Trust more so in the creators. Because like Guardians 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say that
was brilliant. Stammy shaking his head off camera.
Incredible film.
It was absolutely amazing.
I think it's amazing for the fact that it's the Guardians, the characters of the Guardians.
Yeah, it's not as, because I've heard people's arguments saying that it's not fun. Pretending Lucas is there. No, it's not as fun as the first 2 because it's about a poor little raccoon that's like being
the emotional trauma.
Yeah, you know, all this bad stuff's happened to the poor guy and everything, and then
I think
the whole like his whole backstory thing is so dark. It's just
it is. I think
just
the tonal change from the first and second to this third one is just insane.
Yeah, what's it like? His first words.
Oh,
like it's like.
I
was like, no, it does.
But I think in terms of this is the film student like coming out, but from a filmmaking point of view, it looks incredible. The whole film, the cinematography behind it, especially that hallway fight scene, is one of, if not the best fight scenes I've seen on like in film. It's incredible the way all of them work together, and it like follows each character through, giving them their own moment. It's great.
Beastie Boys as well.
Music again. I think they didn't miss with the soundtrack. They never seem to miss with the soundtrack.
Films. Out of all 3 of the Guardians films, which is your favourite soundtrack?
Most iconic would be the first one, but the best I personally think is the second one. Mainly because of Southern Nights and the rocket in the forest.
Yeah,
I think that one. And when they first go onto Ego on the second film, I think it's just it's really good.
Will we get copyrighted if we're singing the songs or coming out?
And Mr. Blue Sky as well. That intro for the second film, I do shit on the second film quite a bit, but that intro for that second film is, sorry, I know for me it goes third, first, second.
Oh really? Third's your favourite?
I think third's my favourite.
He's shaking his head. I need to rewatch them all. Soundtrack wise, I don't know. I have listened to the third one a lot because I got that on vinyl,
and it's
like the other month as well. The whole intro bit with Rocket as well, like with Creep. Said, when you hear before, because I remember Aaron said a while ago, because they'd released the the track list for everything, and he was like, "Oh, I bet you it's just going to be something like funny and like, you know, this, that, and the other." And I was like, no, it's going to be something that hits. Yeah. And then it opens up and it's just a depressed Rocket Raccoon just going around. Just like,
I was really hoping that like it would start off like the other 2, and you'd have this really upbeat track with this stupid action set piece. Like, I mean, obviously the first one wasn't as action packed, but it had Star-Lord going through the caves with all the creatures booting them. Second one is the best. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know, it sets the tone for the film perfectly. It really does. It's like shows, obviously Rocket's the main character of that film, hands down. He's the main plot point, the main driving force for both heroes and the villains. So it's that's what I think is the best. Rocket's my favourite character from them. So Bradley Cooper's just great in it.
Oh yeah, he's brilliant.
He is incredible.
Sean Gunn as well, from doing
the
mocap, because in the BTS of Guardians 3, what they call Assembled on Disney Plus, they're really good.
I just still can't get the image out of Dave Bautista stroking his head.
Yeah, when he's just there. Yeah. But the actors have said like it makes such a difference to actually having someone there, and instead of just like you see in all the other Marvel ones and whatnot, like just like a ping pong ball.
That's what they've said with the Sonic films as well. I know you spoke about that in the first episode, but actually having the characters, obviously they can't move, but having them built up
just as a reference.
For a reference for the actors to know where they're looking and where they're going to go to. I think it's so much better than CGI. I think sometimes with CGI you're just looking at a tennis ball and it's like
practical. You need some form of practicality.
Just like Pooh, Blood and Honey 2 or whatever it is.
Oh my god!
Just came out and is actually getting good reviews. It's really weird.
I'm ashamed to say I bought the Blu-ray.
What, for the first one?
Yeah.
Oh god. Apparently the second one is like 10 times better and it sets up the Poohniverse.
Oh, I have heard about this because there's going to be like a Pinocchio thing.
They've made a Winnie the Pooh, because obviously it became open,
public domain.
Domain. So they're turning all these famous Disney characters into horror movie characters. So they've got Winnie the Pooh as a slasher, and the first film got a sequel, and they've just announced as soon as the sequel comes out that they're doing a whole universe it's called Bambi Reckoning, where it's a Bambi killing people. I think there's a Peter Pan one, and then the final one is called like Poohniverse, and then a
Poohniverse Assembled.
Poohniverse. It's
ridiculous.
Yeah, that's equally as bad as the Whoniverse, I think.
Because the with Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey now, not the actual characters because they're fantastic, but the Blood and Honey one, the special features on the Blu-ray, I was like, intrigued to see how they actually made it, because some of the set pieces. Have you seen it?
I've not seen the first one. I've seen.
I wouldn't necessarily say I'd recommend it.
Yeah, but it's something that
if you get an hour or so and you fancy a horror film,
it's just like a slasher. Apparently, it's very Michael Myers-esque in the performance of Pooh.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't say anything because the mask they have is just like a rubber mask.
Yeah, I mean, they've changed it in the second one. It's like
that you can actually like the costume design for like Tigger's in it as well. He even has a CG tail.
Yeah,
owls in it and stuff. It's bizarre. It's nice to see though that someone doing a low budget horror film based on that. They've seen that it's public domain. It's going out there. They can take advantage of this, make this film, which is. Now obviously got a sequel, had a red carpet event, premiered and everything.
Doing pretty well. I mean, obviously it can only do so well with that sort of concept on reviews.
Yeah.
But I think on Rotten Tomato it like debuted at a 60 or 70% on.
Oh, what, the second one?
Yeah, the second one on the actual review section.
Yeah.
Not the fan reviews.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's doing surprisingly well, which is quite funny.
Yeah. And the fact that the first one and probably the second one now actually had a Blu-ray that you could buy in HMV,
I know,
which is mad because it's just like, I don't know, just like, if something else becomes public domain, then there's no reason why us as filmmakers, we couldn't make that and then,
do this,
do the same type of process because that you got Batman and Superman public domain in about 10 years.
Yeah, I know. That's gonna be great. I think. Just to add to the Pooh, there's Steamboat Willie has also become public domain.
Yes,
and there's already a Steamboat Willie horror film.
Yes, I've seen the trailer for that. Yeah.
Come out, so.
Have you seen the original Steamboat Willie?
What?
It's like 7-minute cartoon.
Yeah, where he's on where the iconic whistling comes from.
Yeah, it's he is tapped because. He is just animal abusing, left, right, and center. He's like, my missus is on the boat. I got her on the boat and whatnot, and then he just pulls out one of these animals' tongues or something and starts playing it like a
those old.
He's horrid. That's his kind. He's an animal himself.
I know.
As well, and then he gets thrown away, and he's
It's
He
ridiculous.
kills a bird at the end as well. And they're like, oh wow,
This
Mickey
is in
Mouse.
7 minutes.
A lot happens in 7 minutes.
I've not actually. I only know it because of the intro to every Disney animated film.
There's more.
Is Steamboat Willie.
Hey, I tell you, you get 7 minutes. You
That's
sit down and
insane.
watch Steamboat Willie.
That's insane. I had no idea that was.
Yeah, no.
The plot.
It's yeah, because I watched it and then, like, Minnie is like on the harbour and then like he picks her up or something and brings a cow on as well. I don't know. It's very dated for what it is. I mean, there's some original Disney cartoons where it's like, have you seen the one where like Donald Duck is like a Nazi?
It's like, I don't understand how they got away with that sort of stuff. It was obviously a different time when it like.
It's literally the whole episode though is him like becoming a Nazi, and then he wakes up and says, "Oh, it was all a dream."
Yeah, it's crazy. How has this gone here?
Hey, it always does. It always does.
Yeah.
This is the second episode where it's come up now. Just saying.
We need to think of rebranding this podcast.
Yeah, something else.
Yeah, I think we're almost done.
I think on that note, we'll conclude this episode. But it's been a pleasure to have you.
I'll be back in the background for a moment.
And yeah, be sure to
episodes time. I'll be back.
Be sure to have you back.
Thank you.
Talk about some Deadpool stuff.
Bigger set. Get a few people on.
Yeah.
Try and sort out this.
Yeah. But yeah. Any plugs that you'd like to do? You got your own YouTube or anything? No.
Nothing yet. I need to sort it out. I've not got anything sorted yet. There's some portfolio stuff, but yeah, nothing to say.
No worries. Well,
I'll put the Instagram on. I take photos. But that's about it.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
We'll have that. Check in the description below.
Yeah. If it sees a day.
Yeah. No. Well. Yes. But on that note, been a pleasure. We'll see you in the next one.